Hello, Podia peeps. Brittany here and Daphne. Daphne, you want to say hi? Hi! Okay, I am recording a tutorial today, as I do, while I'm working through a client site. I can show you the before and the after in the comments for anyone who's interested. But this is the Podia site, and what we are trying to achieve to rebuild is on her old site, which is not Podia, a portfolio page, which definitely needed a bit of a refresh, but we didn't want to get rid of the idea of having these case studies set to go. So she has kind of her portfolio of design work, and then when you click into it, it has more of the, like a traditional case study, the challenge, solution, the process, results, all that fun stuff. So what we are building is what we are putting on her client love page. It would be helpful if I had the navigation linked. Just kidding. Let's link that first. Client love goes to client stories. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. All right, here we go. All right, so client love. What we're doing is we are using an image grid layout, and then other pages where we're having the longer form case studies. You could do this with a blog and have them as a blog category as well, but as of right now, we don't have as much control over the visual, what we can do with like columns and images within a blog post versus what we can do with a page. So as of right now, we're making these as pages. So here's what we're doing. We're adding to this page, and then we are programming this page, and I'm going to show you how we make this a template. Perhaps at some point we will be able to duplicate pages, which would be kind of a game changer, but right now we're going to use save sections. So I'm going to show you how we do this. So I'm going to grab one to copy and paste from that doesn't exist on her portfolio on the new site yet. I'm going to go with this one, wedge cheesery. So I'm just going to grab the elements that I need for now. All right, so the first page I'm going to go to is the main, we'll call it the case study landing page, the client stories. So pretty straightforward. We have one section on this page and it's a grid. So whenever she has a new client story, move my camera, she is going to click new item. And then I paste the things that I want over here. And then I'm going to upload the image. All right, and then the page the button goes to doesn't exist yet, so we're gonna make this, but we're still gonna put this, learn more about this project, and I'm just gonna put something there so I can see what it's gonna look like. You can adjust, of course, the visual settings of this over time. I don't love how this button is so close to this next one because it's confusing which one it goes to. So if you're finding that, you can play around with the gap and the padding a little bit until you find what works for you. Okay, so now we're gonna build another page where this is gonna go. So I'm gonna click new page, and I always, before I do anything on the page itself, I go back and I name the page over here in the page settings. Otherwise, what happens is you end up with a whole bunch of pages down here on the left, all called new page, and it's really hard to tell which one's which unless you click into them, and it's a bit of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to go right away to page settings, and I'm going to call this client story wedge cheesery, and I'm going to put that here as well. Okay, now when I click over here, I can see the stories and it's not confusing. I don't have a bunch of garbage. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is remove this placeholder section because I don't want it. Now, in the absence of being able to duplicate a page, when I click the plus button, instead of recreating every single time, I've saved the sections. So let me show you how you would do that if you've not done it before. So I'm going to go to the home page. I'm just going to grab a random row so you can see how this would work. Let's say I wanted this row somewhere on each page. I'm going to click into the row, and then this little kind of like bookmarky ribbon icon thing, I'm going to click save a copy and then call it something that you will remember. I'm going to call this animated words. Self-explanatory. Now if I go to any other page on the site, so let's go to the wedge cheesery page, I can go and I can now click Save Sections, and I can grab that and put it in. I don't have to reconfigure the background color or the images that are in that, anything like that. So it's already there. Now, if you are using this method to duplicate an entire page and not just a section here and there, I would recommend labeling them something that gives you a context of what the order is. So what I have done is I've labeled each of these rows CS for client story, CS1, CS2, CS3, so that it's really easy to add all the sections and then just copy and paste over top. So the first thing I'm going to do is saved sections, and I'm going to find the very first one, which is CS1. Then I'm going to add the next one, which is CS2. And then you guessed it, the next one is CS3. And then 4. So if you're doing a website redesign for yourself or for someone else, this is a really great way to make your work faster if you have a whole bunch of pages that share a similar layout. Okay, so now I have all the sections. It's just a matter of copying and pasting to put things over top. So we already changed the title over here, so now I'm just going to change. Okay, here is our image. And let's grab the info that we need. So now it's just a really easy copy and paste from here. So I'm going to click into each row. The formatting's there. The borders I want are there. I don't have to mess around with any of that styling. And then I've kind of used a combination of some narrow rows that are centered with some wider rows and grid layouts just to give it some different visual interest, I guess. I like using lots of white space around the design so that the words and the pictures speak for themselves and it's not really cluttered. So this is really a helpful way to do that. Alright, so I won't make you watch me copy and paste all of this info over because that would be kind of boring and I'm sure you have better things to do. But let's pretend this page was done, the very last step. So remember, you've already added over here on your main case studies / client stories page, you've already added the grid item that's going to link to this page, but we didn't link this learn more about this project because that page didn't exist yet. So we have to click back into this grid, click on Wedge Cheesery, and instead of it being a link, we can select a page. There we go. Client story, publish. That's all she wrote. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you today. Hopefully that's helpful if you're creating a case study listings page or you're looking to be able to make page templates inside of Podia. That's a really awesome way to do it. Have an awesome rest of your day or evening. If you need me, I will drop my contact details below. Bye, guys.